Good afternoon, my YouTube friends. The other day I read a comment online that some idiot posted that said something along the lines of starting primitive fire, learning primitive fire and snares is stupid in a survival situation when he would much rather be physically fit because the will to survive outweighs everything else. And I'm going to tell you, that's about the dumbest, most ignorant statement I've ever heard in my life. He said, well, you know, being able to travel 20, 40, 60, 100 miles, barring any injury, and you can travel that distance, and you don't have, you know, other people with you, children, what have you, you're going to be doing the Bears Grill, jump from mountain to mountain type thing. You know, somewhere along the way you're going to have to stop, and you may have to start a primitive fire. You may have to boil some water. You may have to, you know, fire is key in a lot of things. It gives you a sense of safety as well as comfort in a situation that's already probably terrifying to you. And he said, you know, I would just rather be able to travel 100 miles. Well, dude, you're going to have to find food, procure food, unless you can travel 100 miles, you know, without eating, and obviously without drinking, because you'll probably get dysentery or something else from drinking unsanitized water. But, you know, hey, you're an expert. You know, I'm going to flat out say it. Joe Teddy, you're a fucking idiot. You have no skills in the outdoors. So saying something like that is probably, you know, right up your alley. Oh, I'd rather travel, you know. That's why Matt does everything for you, because you can't start primitive fires. You don't think about setting snares to procure food. You're an idiot. Everybody needs to learn the outdoor skills of fire, water purification, shelter, first aid, navigation, you know, food. You don't have a clue about any of that. You think you're going to just be dropped off in the woods and, hey, I know where I'm going and I'm going to travel 100 miles. Fucking idiot. All right? With that said, I decided I'd make a YouTube video on basically a primitive, it's not a snare, it's more of a killing device. You can make this just about any way you want to make it. I'm going to show you a quick one. I'm going to show you how it works. Doesn't take much, just a little bit of cordage, and everything else is in the woods for you. What I do carry, and I have a ring of them, like a carabiner ring of just rings, you know, just basic rings. I got, I don't know, 15, 20 of them on here. They come in handy for more than one reason. But for this snare, it came in perfect for it. So I'm going to show you this, and we're going to get to it. And I've already set it up, fired it off a couple times. So this is going to be a quick one as to just a basics, you know, trap that almost anybody can find, you know, or make in the woods if you know game animals. You have to know their travel patterns. You have to be able to see sign. I'm going to show you something over here. Let me get you in a little closer here. And we're going to show you something here. Okay. This is a game trail right through here. Okay? They use this all the time. And it goes up and over this way and then breaks down behind that tree there and goes back down the hill. I've watched many a coyote, raccoon, and other critter run this. So I decided I'm going to set it up right here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now, as a disclaimer, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a killing trap. This trap is designed to kill. Primitive trapping is illegal in the state of Illinois, so I'm going to clarify that first. Do not set this trap up, leave unattended, and do not use unless you are in a survival situation. Okay? And with that, I'm going to show you. You see this tree here? I have lashed a pole to it, a springy type pole, okay, to come across this trail. Let me get down here. I then tied on this side just a basic toggle. And I'm going to show you what this is for. And then we have another stick here. I'm going to show you what this is for. Then we came around the tree, and here's my ring on another toggle. Okay, I'm going to set this up for you. You get on the other side, it makes it easier for me. And it basically goes like this. These two go together like that. You form them to a little point. Then you take your ring with your toggle and you're going to slide the ring up onto these two pieces at the bottom. This will hold it in place. So get your little fingers in here, we'll get it done. Okay, one side. There's the other with my toggle in there. You want to set this just like this, almost at a hair trigger, okay? This is going to want to be set at such a hair trigger. Let me get closer in on this. You see what I've done here? I've come around this pole. That holds that spring back. I have a trip wire across the front of it so that if any animal hits that little string, that pole comes down. Now here's the caveat to this, okay? I'll show you this one. I'm gonna back it out here. You can go a little crazy on this. If you just don't want to whack them, say it's not a rabbit, take a punji and you can lash that punji to this area here on this branch. Now I'm not going to do it because this is already a dangerous trap to begin with. It will severely hurt you if it whacks you, but if you tied this punji right in this area and this drives into this area here, you're going to impale this creature, whatever you're trying to trap, into this tree. There's no doubt in my mind this will go completely through. So I won't set that up right now. You want this thing so sensitive that almost if anything touches it, you may have to finagle it a little bit just to get it to the right sensitivity. I want this thing on such a hair trigger that it doesn't take much to do this. Now, pay attention. Animal comes through. Hits your. Well, this one kind of freaks me out a little bit, but hits your. You see, this toggle is going to move. You got to go around something. The tree was not really the greatest thing, so I went around a wire. But he hits this string. Like I said, hair sensitivity. Okay. That would drive a bungee stick right through them. Now granted, I set this up real fast just to give you guys an idea. There's all kinds of trips, triggers, snares, but learning different methods of triggers and snares can actually save your life, okay? Don't for a minute listen to stooges with no skills. Please, guys. You need the skills. You need to understand what's going on out in the woods. You need to understand your animals and everything else. It's not all about physical fitness. The will to survive does play a role, but there's been many people who have been lost in the woods with a will to survive and didn't, okay? They didn't make it. Not that they wanted to die. They just didn't have the skills to keep them alive. So if you watch colossally stupid shows like Dual Survival, and you watch somebody with no survival skills named Joseph Teddy try to tell you he's the guru survival expert of the outdoors, laugh and turn off the TV, because you're not going to get anything out of it other than maybe some humor. There are ways to procure food. This is just one of 30 types of traps, snares, ways of catching animals. I don't think that you're not going to eat anything, you know. There's only so many wild edibles, and quite honestly, you get into the time of year right now, not many wild edibles out here, you know. It's fall, most of the stuff is dying off. You'd have to eat a boatload of edibles, wild edibles, greens or what have you, just to get the calorie and nutrition You'd have to be like a cow. You'd have to go grazing just to make this work. Laugh him off. He's a fool. Discovery Channel picked a fool. In my opinion, Joe, you are the biggest crock of crap ever to come out and claim that you're a survival expert because you don't have an idea of what it means to survive. People like Michael Hawk, 10 times more than you. Dave Canterbury, he'd smoke you, moron. My friend Derek Faria, hands down, destroy you. You suck, dude. Like I say, guys, practice these little traps. I set this one up real quick. It would work in a survival situation, but you see the people on Naked and Afraid, always go out there with a knife, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You know what I did all this with? Swiss Army knife. You don't need a bushcraft knife like this. You don't need a Bowie knife to survive. I got more stuff on this Swiss Army knife than any Bowie knife would ever carry. Now granted, am I going to chop down a tree with this? Absolutely not. Am I going to baton it through a log? Probably not, but that's not what I'm going to be out here doing. You don't need all these big fancy tools to survive in the woods. It's been done with less for hundreds of years prior to this new genre of bushcrafting. Like I said, guys, there's books on this. Lofty Weissman, SAS Survival Handbook, shows, 20 different snares. Read, do the research, go out and practice it and have a little fun. Like I said, I would never set this trap and leave it. This is a dangerous trap, especially if you've got a stake on it. The neighbor's cat history. I mean, that's going to drive that stake through that animal so quick. And you're going to come back in the morning and there's going to be something there. If they're using that trail. The funny thing about trapping, it's a game of time and numbers, okay? Don't think you're going to set one and in the morning you're going to have something. You may have to wait 3 or 4 days to something come down this trail. It may come down tomorrow morning, but it may be, a week. Set multiple traps. It's a numbers game. Obviously, the more traps you have, the odds go in your favor of catching something. But with that, I just figured I'd have a good laugh at a stupid fool and show you guys a little trick here. It's getting on to trapping season here. November 5th, right around the corner. I'm going to take you guys with me on an adventure of trapping. We're going beaver, muskrat, fox, coon, coyote, possum, and mink. We're going to do mink this year too. But we'll show you some good sets. Hopefully you'll get something out of it. And follow me along for a good time because I think it's going to be one heck of a season. Y'all have a nice day.